call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation.
You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god.
I don't know how to stop. I just go till I drop. Whether it's working or shots, give it all that I got. You can watch me work in my element. Anyone in the way is irrelevant. You wanna cross me, cool, not intelligent. Cause I don't forget shit like an elephant. Go ahead and tempt me, put it on the line and you'll come up empty. If I got time, I'm deadly. Never caught off guard, no, I'm always ready. I got a hand real steady. Look me in the eye and you'll see no hezzy. About to get real messy. I'll put you in a grid 6 feet like Kenny.
You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray and we're back at it again for another episode of Future Financial Strategies. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday. If you are not, it is not too late to make a change. You've almost made it to Bag Fortification Friday, where we fortify the bags, where we increase our wealth, where we make the decisions that need to be made to put us in the positions to where we have the opportunities to move the needle forward. All 2024, we're going on the understanding of we're trying to have as much money in as possible and as little money out as possible. We're trying to fortify our ecosystems, fortify our lifestyles, fortify our standard of living. With that said, we're not going to beat around the bush today. We're gonna jump right into it. We're going right into the topic because we beat this with a dead horse. There is a wealth transfer that is happening, and those who are hyper skeptical, those who are telling you to be afraid, those who are, I would say it's even doing a public service calling out the charlatans and the scammers, the people who are trying to get you into these opportunities. I've been tapping in with Pocket Watching with JT's content. He loves busting out the crypto scammers. And honestly, I have to say, I love that he busts out the crypto scammers because we don't need them. Matter of fact, there's a bunch of stuff we don't need. I mean, to have people who are in a field that is rapidly getting ready to get replaced by AI, because realistically, if we're gonna be totally honest, taking all of the human emotion, all of the human fallibility out of the financial advisement realm will yield better gains. It just will. Like I said, most people don't beat the market. You can't compete because of machine learning and AI-driven trades. You're not going to beat the robots. But this is a known. So why do we need a man or a person or a human or a woman, what have you, making those decisions when AI has the ability to see the entire landscape and make the best financial decisions unquestioned? So, I love it. I'm all for it. I just feel like some of these people that got these real expensive degrees are getting ready to get replaced by computers. And those of us who don't talk well or didn't go to a school to get a piece of paper that they don't have a piece of paper for specifically. You can't go get a piece of paper to know about crypto. Just saying how it works, what it is. whatever. There's about to be an upheaval, and a bunch of people are going to be on the wrong side of that. But what we're talking about over here is it's not even the opportunity, the wealth transfer that's taking place. What we are seeing right now is the equivalent of what we've seen in the 90s. And I'm not sitting here telling you crypto is going to go to the moon. I'm not going to tell you Bitcoin's going to go to the moon. I look at the charts, I look at the data, and for a financial advisor, for all these professional traders that want to talk down and keep you from getting a piece of the action on the wealth transfer that's happening, I guess these financial advisors and professional traders are smarter than countries, because countries are holding Bitcoin. Countries are mining Bitcoin. Publicly traded companies such as MicroStrategy are literally leveraging the company to buy Bitcoin. But these guys, these gurus on YouTube, trust me, they're smarter than these guys. They're smarter than countries. They're smarter than CEOs that have built businesses that are many multiple larger than them. They're smarter than Elon Musk. Tesla owns Bitcoin. The U.S. government, largest holder of Bitcoin, confiscated Bitcoin, but they hold it. They're smarter than them as well. But now the talking point is gone. The last leg that they had to stand on, which was, oh, it's never going to be legitimate. It's never going to be legitimized. It's never going to have, well, we have a spot Bitcoin ETF now, which is why we're going to have a short, succinct episode, because I've talked about this. I've been on Next. I've been in the chat arguing with Wall Street Trapper, who intelligently made a bet that the average person, unless you got $100,000 laying around, can't even take them up on, which is genius if you're in these spaces talking to poor people. Genius. So once I have some Wall Street Trapper money, I will be making that same bet. You just make bets that people can't call you on, so that way you don't have to admit that you were wrong. But the funny thing about the internet, especially with the crypto bros, we remember everything. We're like elephants. We do the research. We remember things. You know, we just don't forget. So we're just going to be talking about it, and we'll just throw it in your face all year. It's fine. It's fine. But as we're moving forward now, you're going to have some different opportunities, especially on the traditional finance side. Now, me personally, I went ahead and threw some into my Roth 401k. I got some of the Bitcoin ETFs. They're not all made the same. If you're wanting to know exactly why, I would tell everybody to do their research. And it's something that the traditional finance guys aren't looking at. It's something that the crypto guys are also not looking at, from the conversations that I've had with people that I know have been putting out content in the space for a very long time, that I talk to, that I know have been around for a very long time, and they're not seeing it. But we had a whole conversation about it over in Circa 84. There's a link down in the description to, if you want to tap in and take your investments to the next level. Obviously, I am the moderator for the crypto area, and so that is my contribution to the consortium. But there's a bunch of other different type of traders in there, all the way from, there's day trading, futures, calls, options traders, buy and hold portfolio traders, dividend investors, the whole gamut. Now, me personally, my traditional finance portfolio is boring AF, because the space moves super slow in comparison to what I'm used to. So, A, that's why most of my money is not there. And B, that is why, like, I just look at setting up a decent dividend portfolio. It's my Stay Rich Forever portfolio, and we're hoping to eventually get that built out to a point to where that pays the bills, and then we have further increased our options. But when I ask, is it in Bitcoin, is it in your portfolio now, I'm talking about your portfolio, your 401k, your Roth IRAs, your traditional finance, your just brokerage accounts. Is it in there? Are you guys taking the bite? Are you guys biting on it? I know most people, especially when stuff comes out, because we do it in the crypto space as well. When a coin drops, we normally let it trade for a couple of weeks to figure out like where it's supposed to be at. Because sometimes you buy it the first day, you're getting in at a bad spot. and then you're going to ride the dip out. Me personally, first day I did buy some because, I did it for the culture. I also did it because I understand where it's going, and I'm like, having a little bit as a little kicker in the portfolio ain't going to hurt nothing. But now you're going to have your financial advisors, your other people, now that it's a legitimized product, those who can get over themselves will start recommending it to you. And I can see it. I can see both sides of this. The side of it that is pro, and this is going to be pretty much a very short episode. It's going to be a little blurb. I'm not going to hold you guys up for super long periods of time because I've been beating this to death. We had a live show. We're going to have a show tonight where we're trying to get Guns and Butter back on track. We do one crypto show a month. We did the crypto show last week for the actual news cycle of it to have a celebration. We had a great conversation. We had OMAC, Razik was on there, Bumpkin was on there. We had, we're getting back to where we need to be. We had a couple of weeks that were turbulent, work was crazy, and we're getting back to normal now, which I'm all about. But the one piece that I wanted to bring up, so like in regards to the pros, so like if you're young and you're just not interested in learning how to set up a crypto wallet and don't want to take responsibility for your finances 100% yourself, you're going to do all the things and just save money, and you want it in your brokerage account where it's simple, then this is better than nothing. It's better to have some exposure than no exposure. It gives you a different option. Not all of these ETFs, the spot Bitcoin ETFs specifically, are set up the same. There's some variances in there, and you're going to need to do your own research to figure that out. Obviously, if you want it handed it to you on a plate that is behind the paywall over in Circa 84, that's the only place we had that conversation, because that's where we actually broke down that conversation. But if you watch last week's Guns and Butter, we did break down one of the holdings at random live on air during the live stream. So you kind of can go in and see what we're looking at. That's a little bit of a gym. It'll get you set in the right space. But as far as my due diligence to my community over here, up until we get monetized, when I have like a members only deal, because I'll give all that information to people that are members only. But if we're taking time to obviously research, and we did that research specifically within the Circa 84 community, that conversation was for them. Those people paid to basically sit there and be the fly on the wall for that interaction. And it's a good piece of game. It's a good piece of game because nobody's actually researching in depth the ETFs. And to be honest, I, of my own volition, probably wouldn't have done that research either. So I understand why a bunch of people don't know. We just get flooded with information, but specific to the ETFs, it's definitely something I'd recommend people look into. It's going to be a good option if you are not savvy enough or caring enough to want to get outside of this system and have control over your finances yourself. Now we're going to switch over to the why you shouldn't, why I'm against having it in your portfolio. Now, for those of you who are in, and I went with, since I'm in the industry and I've been in crypto for a decade, I don't like middlemen by default. I don't like it. I don't like being told what I can and can't invest in. I don't like being told that because I don't have a piece of paper or a degree in financial advisement, I didn't go take a test, that now I don't know what I can do with my money. Now, I understand why they don't want me telling you what you should be doing with your money, and I don't tell you what you should be doing with your money. I simply talk about what I'm doing with my money. So pocket watching with JT, you can stay off my neck. But the thing that I don't like is when people want to argue math. They want to argue gains. They want to argue results because they feel some type of way because they got their piece of paper, which makes them feel like they know more than you when they're giving the most conservative, generic, basic advice ever. That's kind of where I diverge with that. But again, it's another middleman. It's their job. It's their job. It's kind of the same way mechanics will be like, oh, well, like, I'll fix your car. Like they need you to pay them to fix your car. If you learn how to fix your car yourself, then you don't need them. So they have to defend their job. They have to defend that old, archaic, traditional finance system because that's what feeds them. So the system's going to protect itself, and it has these henchmen that are out here to also protect it. I don't like being told what I can invest in. I don't like being told that I can go gamble my house away. I can go get umpteen bazillion dollars in debt. And I mean, I was watching Pocket Watching with JT prior to recording this. They had a man on there that tried to justify basket weaving degrees. Like, the system defends itself so harshly. Like, the basket weaving degree to make less than me with no degree. Because I'm never posited that I was intelligent. I don't have a doctorate. Apparently, a bunch of y'all who have doctorates done got them from the online place, and JT busted y'all out. Like, y'all better steer clear of JT, man. He got a good thing going over there. It's some interesting information once you dive in. But some of the rhetoric that they expound on that side is system defending itself. I got a degree. I wasted all this money. You got to go waste all this money. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you get into a trade and own a business. I don't know. Maybe you just saying, like, it's people don't do the math on the ROI. And one of the things that JT added in that conversation that I watched was he added that context. Like, people don't do the math of the ROI. There is no ROI on a basket weaving degree. They're just, that's going to be a hard sell. I understand that there's some doors that you can get into with that, but like, our education system has become so for profit, so disingenuous that now you have Fortune 500 companies, which they're saying, but I mean, and I understand because stuff that's within specifically the Black community is like 8 decades behind everywhere else, or for some reason. That you're going into these Fortune 500 companies, and even if you have a basket weaving degree, you can get into a management program. Well, newsflash, Walmart's rolling back that ruling. Google been done rolled back that ruling. Amazon's rolled back that ruling. The tide has started because y'all's schools are producing dum-dums. They're producing people that people don't want to work with. They're not a good cultural fit for anyone. They're all woke and dumb, and they can't logically work through problem solving. So now they're going to have to start letting people who can think through an issue for themselves and can actually go find a solution for themselves. They're giving those people who can actually perform the task versus the people who got a piece of paper that say that they can perform a task with no job experience, no life experience, and they're just out here navigating as adult age children. So those days have long since been passed. Long since. So you're, again, half truths. They're speaking into an existence that's about to not be reality. But you go ahead and catch that debt to get the easiest degree you can so that you think you can do something with it that nobody's going to care about. And you're still going to have that debt. That's fine. But my main reason for the against on this is it's pretty simple. Actual Bitcoin is non-confiscatable. Putting a middleman in the way, you're still going through that traditional finance rail system where they can tell you what you can do, where they can turn off your money, where they can deperson you if you say things that they don't like. And that was the reason it was invented. It was also invented to be an option for everyone. Now it's going to be like everything else. It's going to be an option for rich people, and you will be barred out. That's not to put the FOMO out there. It's just the reality of what it is. Like, this Bitcoin ETF has changed everything. Those of us who are in the industry are looking at it going, we thought we had like another 10 years before this was going to, like 5 to 10 before this was going to be possible. They're streamlining it. And that's the gist of it. I would always rather have the physical asset, especially in the case of Bitcoin, considering you can take that, you take your ledger, you can set up anywhere, get that offloaded anywhere, and you're good to go with your wealth. The ETF isn't paying out in like in kind. So the ETF, you just get dollars. You're stuck in the American financial system. If they want to silence you, they want to cut you off. Now the Bitcoin that you do have in your portfolio is in their system. If any of these institutions collapse, most of these have riders in there where if the institution goes up, that's their Bitcoin to liquidate, and you will get paid out late in dollars. Since it comes out in dollars, also, if the U.S. economy collapses, you don't have Bitcoin. You have dollars, a dollar value in Bitcoin. Also may or may not be the best thing ever. I don't see the point. I don't think it's that much harder to buy and hold Bitcoin and figure out how to get a cold storage or even a hot wallet that's not on the exchange. Like, I mean, I just don't see it being that difficult. But I digress. I understand for those of you who it is. I put a little bit in my 401k just to, support the movement, because there was some lingering stocks that I liquidated out and reallocated into those positions, because I was like, growth-wise, this is going to outperform those stocks. Now, the last thing that I want to touch on before we close down this episode, because I'm trying to be more on topic, more focused. So now the longer episodes will be specific. Obviously, I'll just have more topics. It'll be great. So the Gary Gensler's statements on why he approved them. He said, circumstances have changed. Approving the Bitcoin exchange traded funds is the most, and this is the part that he said, the most sustainable path forward. The most sustainable path forward. The United States is heavily in debt. It's like, what, $30 billion a month now in service, just to service the debt? And they're sitting on the most individual holding of Bitcoin on the market. That's the reason when the price of Bitcoin spiked up and then started going down, I wouldn't be surprised if the government's offloading some of those Bitcoin to the institutions so that they can service this debt, because the United States finances are jacked up. They're terrible. And this move and the way that he said it leads me to believe that the United States is going to start offloading some of their Bitcoin into the market so that they can start servicing some of this debt, get some of these things pushed through that they're trying to get done, because they are sitting on a stockpile of Bitcoin already. So this does, in fact, help them at this juncture. I certainly hope that whoever they got that's overseeing that isn't dumb and selling it all now, before the halving, but they're going to be moving some of that, especially as we get up into the $100,000 realm and spaces along that way. It's going to be an interesting year, people. I hope you guys are taking advantage of these buying opportunities, because the institutions and the wealthy are. And generally speaking, the working class and poor are selling. They're panic selling now. They're scared when they should be buying. Like, you got to go against the grain. If the price goes down and people are panic selling, someone's buying them, because the price isn't going to zero. The market's not over. We didn't need this ETF for the bull run to get where we were going to get. We're just getting where we're going to get faster. the door is slowly starting to shut. For those of you who are waiting for the right time, I'm waiting for it to go down to 20. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's you get your positions made, dollar cost average. It's the easiest way to do this, trying to time the market, trying to trade the market. Fool's errand right now, because we aren't regulated. It's not hard to move this market. They release a news story and the market reacts. People are trading the news again, which more power to them. I just don't see the point in trading the news on Bitcoin. When they said the housing market was going to crash, I didn't go sell my house. But eventually people will understand. It'll most likely be after it's too late. But over here in the Wolf Pack, we are going to stay focused. We're going to stay diligent. We are going to stay constantly acquiring assets. All money in, no money out. It's your boy Reckless Ray De Niro, and I am out.